Hello my friends, welcome to Bookla's channel. In today's video I will show you how to accept long-term bookings in Bookla and how to add it to your website if your website is built on Framer, Webflow or any other platform. For example, you are building a website for villa rentals or maybe for apartment rentals or maybe for a small hotel. For all of this you can use Bookla. And how to set everything up I will show you in this tutorial. So let's get started. Alright, I'm in Bookla and I already have a company that I used for other videos, and we're gonna use the same company for this tutorial. So first of all, we need to go to resources and create our first villa. Let's click plus and let's call it villa number 1. We can change the color, for example, make it green and click create. So we don't need to create any working hours or closing periods or metadata for now. So in general, for day services, we don't need to use working hours at all because we're gonna book the resource like by days. So it doesn't make any sense. So now let's go to services and let's create a new service. Click plus and let's call it Villa Rent. Click next. Now we need to select days. Click next. And now we need to choose, is it instant booking, needs confirmation or needs a prepayment. For now, let's just keep it instant booking. So all the bookings will be automatically confirmed. So the check-in time will be from 3 p.m. and the checkout will be 11 a.m. So for me it's fine, but you can change these times as you need. Click create. And now we need to link our villa to this service. Just click link, select our villa and link. And here you can link multiple villas if you have, for example, 2, 3 or more villas to rent, and you can just link it here for this resource. And now let's go to the pricing. Let's choose the currency, let it be US dollars. Tax rate, let's just be blank for now, and let's create the new price rule. So the price rule, when you're creating, it's basically setting the price per day. So for example, the default price will be $200 per day, and we don't need, for example, any limit. So we just every day will be the same price. But for example, you want to have a different pricing for different days of the week. So you can click days and select that this price is for from Monday to Thursday, for example, and click create. And now we can create another price rule. Let's say we have 300 per day, and click days and select Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So basically these 3 days are more expensive than another 4 days. And we can change the priority of this price rule, but as these price rules don't conflict with each other, so we just can keep the priority of 1. But for example, if you want to prioritize some price rules, for example, when you want to create some price rule that is active, for example, for 3 months, I don't know, during the winter months, you can just select active from here will be like 1st of December and active till will be like 28th of February. And then you can prioritize this rule. Let's say you can set it to 2, and this rule will be higher than other rules, and when the price rule should be applied, so this rule will be prioritized. But for us, we don't need anything here, just click create. And now in metadata, we can just store some additional data, for example, for custom development. And for settings, we can just change our check-in time, checkout time, and, for example, booking policy. But for now, we don't need to change anything. And now we can check how it works. Click preview button and select resources Villa 1. And let's check, for example, our days. Let's say from Monday till Thursday. And we have 3 days, so it's $600. So basically 3 days, it's because 18th, 19th and 20th. So the 21, it's not counted as a day because it's just counted like by night. So for example, like check-in at 3 p.m, check-out at 11, and when you select from until, so it's basically 3 nights here. For example, if you want 4 nights, so you need to choose like checkout on Friday, and you will see that here are 4 days. And as you see, so all the prices are calculated like by $200. But let's say we want to stay until Saturday, and you see for additional day is basically Friday. There is a $300 per night added to this price. So basically these 5 days cost us $1,100. So everything works fine. And now you have 3 options how to set up it on your website. And let's just go one by one. Alright, the first option, if you are using Framer, you can go to marketplace of the component, just type Bookla here and open our Bookla plugin where you can find the days component. So just drag and drop it to your workspace, close here. And here you will see like our default component to accept days booking. So it shows check-in, check-out, and also calculates nights. So you can style this component as you want. So we have a bunch of parameters, and you can check other videos where I explain more about customization of the component. So now let's just connect it with Bookla to check that everything works. So first of all, we need to choose the API region. So for us, it will be US, because this part in the URL in Bookla portal is US. If it's EU, so you just need to choose the Europe. But for us, it will be US. API key, we need to generate the new API key. Just go to developer section and click create API key, and just call it, for example, days API key, and go down. And for the permissions, we need only these 3 permissions, like client permissions. Please don't select all other permissions for the API key, because this API key will be stored on the front end, and it can be stolen, or somebody can just remove your services, resources, working hours, and a lot of stuff. So just please use only client permissions. Click create, and now we can copy this API key and just put it here. Now we need the company ID. Go back to Bookla, click here on the company, and on the top there will be an ID. Copy, go back, paste it here, and also we need the service ID. So go to services and select our Villa Rent service and copy the ID here. Go back to Framer and paste it here. So for example, if you have multiple resources and you want to pre-select one particular resource, let's say you're creating different pages for different villas, but you are reusing one service, you can just pre-select the resource ID. So for example, you can go to resources and go to villa and just select this ID and put it here in the resource ID. And then you can hide, for example, resource and just make it invisible, so people will not be able to choose any other resource. And for example, right now, as we have only one villa, we can just hide this resource. Also, for example, we can show terms and conditions so that people just need to accept terms and conditions when they book. All right, now let's just click play and check if it works. Let's just select from the 18th till 19th, it will be 200. And let's select until Saturday, so it will be $1,000 100 for 6 nights. And we can select it, click accept, continue, and you need to enter the user data, and then you just making a booking. So if you deselect accept terms and conditions here, so it will not accept the booking. Alright, this is for the Framer. Now let's go to the Webflow. In Webflow, we also have an app that you can find in Webflow Marketplace, and when you install it, you can launch it from the apps here. Just launch, and for example, if you're not authorized, click authorize. So it will show basically the workspace or the website where you want to add it. And as I created a completely new website, so I'm just adding it to this website. Okay, close now. And as we see, the component app is launched. And you can also customize how it looks here. So it looks a bit different because in the Webflow you can customize the component inside the app, and after that you can insert it. But we created like it more or less the same structure as in Framer, and you can just go through tabs. For example, in Bookla API is just only Bookla related API key, company ID, service ID, and in theme you can customize the colors, and in config you can customize like animation, locale, and just a lot of different texts. And for example, resource, let's say for the resource we don't want to show the resource as we did previously. And now I will just copy and paste the same parameters as we used previously. So I have pasted all the parameters, and now we see the component is just transformed into days component. So now let's just check the same dates, and we see that everything is working. If we select Villa, go continue, and now we can just insert first name, last name, and email. And also, for example, in config, we can accept, we can add terms and conditions. So for example, here, and we have terms and conditions enabled, and your clients can book. So now we need to select the component. So just like really big, I can't change the size, but yeah, here is the container. So just add to canvas, and now if we close our app, so we see that we can't preview the component in Webflow, but I hope that soon Webflow team gonna improve that, and all the custom components will be able to preview in the editor. But to see the result, we can just publish the website. Let's just wait a little bit, and now we can open it and check how it looks. Yeah, so the component is here, and it's working properly. And the third option that you can use is get HTML and JavaScript version of the component that you can insert into any web page, or for example WordPress, Wix, or any other website builders where we don't have like specific plugins. For that, you can just take this code and just add it to your web page. And to use this approach, you just need to go to the website component.bookla.com, and here you can play with the component and add it to your website. So here it looks the same as a Webflow component. You can change, you can set up the Bookla API connection here with the API key, company ID, and service ID. Also, you can customize the colors here, for example, like background color or some other colors, or also you can just change it to the gradient, for example, like that. So yeah, you can play with the styling as you want. Then you can also change the config parameters, like the animation. For example, by default it's slide animation. but you can also change it, for example, to fade animation, and it will be like just faded. So it jumps a little bit here because it's centered, but when you're gonna insert it to your web page, when it's gonna be in the container, so it will not like jump through the animations. So, and also you can change any text here, some parameters like for example, terms and conditions you can enable, and yeah, just you can check other videos like the Webflow videos where I explain a little bit more how to style this component and what you can do with all those parameters. But now let's just paste our parameters from Bookla here, and let's see how this component gonna change to days view. So I have added the Bookla parameters here, and the component has transformed into days view. So let's just change the background back to the solid one and just make it white. Yeah, so because the error message is red, but for your component you can just change any color, even like for this error message. So yeah, we have a select resource option here, but as we have only Villa 1 is available, we can go to config and find the resource section here and just hide it. And let's just check that everything works correctly. Yeah, for example, for 3 nights we need to pay $600. And now to get this code, you can click export code button, and you will get the whole code for these particular components with all your settings. And you can just copy this code and insert it to your website. Also, you can import your code for future editing. So for example, let's just change this background color to something and click export code, copy this code, and now let's reload our component. So it's loaded with the default settings, and let's click import and just paste our code here and click import. And it just loaded all the parameters from our previously exported code into the component for the future editing. And in this case, you can just copy your code from your website if you want to edit it. So just put it here and adjust some settings and just click export again and replace the code that you have on your website. As you see, my friends, it's really easy to start accepting long-term bookings with Bookla and add the component to your website. So, thank you for watching, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and see you on the next one. Bye bye!